right on cue.
I don't know. I just don't know what to do anymore. And like,
But you also have your stall now. If you could put pressure on him out here and get him to go in the stall and shut the stall door, then that's going to be a lot easier to catch him in there. He's not a horse that's going to kick you in the situation. Howdy, everybody, and welcome to House Calls with Luke. I'm Luke Brown, and this is Vicky, our friend Vicky, and she has a horse named Navajo that we're going to be working with today. And Navajo is a horse that she's always been able to catch and has a great relationship with. But recently, she had an experience where in the last week or so, he has been very difficult to catch. And what happened is about a week ago Thursday, so it's been over a week and 2 days, she came back from a horseback ride, and typically she ties him up after she rides him for an hour and a half. And I think that's a good idea, to tie him up so they anticipate being tied up and they don't anticipate going straight back to the stall, straight back to their feed. It helps a horse reduce their likelihood of being herd bound or buddy sour or barn sour. So that's a great thing that she typically does. But last Thursday, she didn't do that because she was in a hurry to do something else. So she went ahead and put him away. She said the ride went great. She said when she put him away, that went all great. He didn't react to her. There was nothing negative about it. She took his halter off. She pet him, and then he went on his way when she allowed him to, or when she gave him the cue to go on his way. So everything was great. But then the next day, she went out to catch him, and he just spun around and took off and didn't want to be caught. And she followed him around a little bit and tried to get him to disengage and face her and catch. And she just hasn't been able to catch him since that day. And so this is really confusing to her because it's never happened before. She's never had a hard time catching him. And one of the issues that she's having is physically she gets vertigo. And so she can't do a whole lot of moving out there without getting vertigo and getting sick and getting dizzy. So that we're trying to figure out how to get him caught and how to teach him to be caught again without having her to exert herself physically too much. So that's what we're going to be working on today. And make sure to subscribe and to hit that notification button for this channel for the Reata Horsemanship, so you can get more of these House Calls with Luke. When you hit that notification button, every time we have one of these new videos, you can check the video out and you'll be the first to know about it. So I'm just going to let Vicky tell me a little bit more. If I missed anything, Vicky, what are your thoughts?
no, you pretty much have everything correct. The rides have been great. I mean, when I brought him home from your place, he's been going up and down the hills like the way you trained him, which is being careful and taking his time. And the worst thing he does on the rides is he tries to get some weeds maybe 3 or 4 times during the ride. But
He's a Mustang. That's very, very typical, right?
yes, but it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And so everything has been perfect. I ride twice a week. And when I don't ride, I do work with him in the round pen. But from a week from Thursday, I have no idea what has gotten in his mind. It's like he had a nightmare about me and said, oh no, here she comes. So he just...
Is that how he makes you feel when he's running from you?
Yes, absolutely. So he goes away, and like right now he's watching me. I think if I walked over there, he would probably run away.
Okay. Well, we're gonna test it out. We're gonna see if she can catch him. We're gonna film that, and then if she can't catch him, I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can catch him and figure out why he doesn't want to be caught, and then maybe give you some tools, a diagnosis, and some tools on what to do in the future to make that easier for you. Okay.
The thing is, you've already given me what I need, and it's been working. It's been working. I just don't know what's gotten into him.
Yeah, catching is not an issue he had before.
No.
So you've had him for how long? Have you had him? 3 years. So 3 years, I never had a catching issue, and now suddenly maybe he's having nightmares about me.
So I can
he was
blame
with
this-
me. How long ago was it?
I can blame this on you.
A few months ago. He was with me for 4 weeks and did really well. He was having an issue being nippy, biting at you. So he's a very intelligent horse. He's a Mustang. Came from the Navajo Reservation,
Correct.
right? So that's why his name is Navajo, and great looking buckskin horse. So he figured it. We figured out how to help him from not nipping at you, because literally you'd try to get on him and he'd go and bite you. And you were wearing those long leather boots so that he wouldn't actually hurt you when he would bite you. So that was a big deal, and we were able to correct that. He's also would charge down hills when she was riding him down hills and throw his head. And other trainers thought maybe it was the bit, but really he just needed just a tune up with Luke Brown at Reata Horsemanship, and that seemed to work.
It did.
Okay.
It worked beautifully.
Okay. So now I'm just going to have you go over. We're going to film you just trying to catch him. So no pressure, but just pretend like we're not here. Try to catch him. If you can't catch him, I'm just going to watch you for a while. When you feel like you've had enough and he's had enough, come out, and then I'll go in and see if I can work my magic.
Well,
Okay.
I'm going to get the lead and do what I normally do to get him.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Here. Okay, that's it.
Okay.
You got the ID.
Yeah. Yeah. So he just doesn't want to play ball with you, does he?
One of the days that he was running from me, he actually ran in the stall, and I thought, well, he'll let me get him there. Well, he ran in the one stall, and he would go to the corner with his butt towards me, and I'd go Navajo, and I'd try to get him to face me, and all he would do is go from one corner to the other. Oh, I can't do that. One corner to the other, back and forth. And finally I thought, you know what, I might as well let him out. So I got out of the way, and he zoomed past me and kept doing that all the time.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Have you tried using treats or grain or anything to catch them?
No, I don't like to bribe.
Uh-huh.
I do not like to bribe.
Okay.
And I don't give him treats other than putting them in his bucket.
Okay. All right. I know sometimes, like, we have horses up in Colorado at the ranch and even some of our horses here in Arizona, where they are kind of challenging to catch if we're not consistent with it. And I know you're pretty consistent with it, but one of the things, like, if they think they're going to get some grain, sometimes it's easier to catch them. It might be something to consider, but most of the time I want a horse to I should be able to go up and catch them without using grain. But if they feel like every time they get caught they have to go to work, eventually they're going to stop wanting to be caught.
But it's
not that much work.
What is walk, trot, and canter in the round pen for maybe half hour to 45 minutes. That's
Yeah.
not work compared to when you had him.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
he doesn't even work up a sweat.
Yeah.
And I should have had Jim come in here and see if he went back, but see if Jim could walk up to him. Yesterday, last night when I fed, he stood on this side of the shade screen and he's watching me put hay in the feeder. And I looked at him and I go, "Come on, Navajo, it's okay, come on." And I stepped back and he moved in and started eating. I walked back and he saw me and I pet his neck, his shoulder, his back. He's fine. But let him be. I don't know. I just don't know what to do anymore. And like I said, with my vertigo, right now I can't do. Normally I would chase him and make him work from one end to the other. But I can't do that.
Yeah.
And
now, one of the things that you have to your benefit here is it's not a huge area, but you also have your stall. Now, if you could put pressure on him out here and get him to go in the stall and shut the stall door, then that's going to be a lot easier to catch him in there. He's not a horse that's going to kick you, right?
He's never offered to kick.
Yeah.
Let me walk over there and see if I can get him to come back in here.
Okay.
And maybe I can coax him into the stall where he'll go in there.
Okay.
On his own.
We can try that.
Okay. Navajo, what's wrong with you? Huh? Now go.
Right on cue.
Here, let me get it because it's chained up. Hang on.
Okay, now that you got him in there, now let's see if you can catch him while he's in there, and let's see what happens here.
Can't walk out. Go out. Okay. Okay. What's the matter? Huh? What's the matter? Turn it off. What are you looking at look for? Huh?
That was really good. I mean, worst case, if we finish today and you have trouble again, just get him in here, and I think it's a lot easier to catch him in here. Let's do one more thing. So this is something, and Stacy suggested this, and I think it's a good idea. Like, okay, you caught him in here, so let's make this his happy place. And you caught him, but you can pet on him, and he's not being worked. And then I'm going to have you take him out here and do a little work, like maybe back him up all the way to the end of the arena of this area, this paddock, and back him like a full length of the paddock, and then come back in here and pet on him and let him rest for 5 minutes, and then do that one more time and come back here and pet him and let him rest for 5 minutes. Let's just do that, and then I'm going to have you turn him loose back in there, and let's see if you can catch him in there. If not, he's going to want to come in here because this is where he's getting a break. So let's just do that first. So that's going to take us about 15 minutes. So just because of where you're at physically, I'll do that. I'm going to do that with him. And this is what I would recommend doing if you struggle with it. So basically, we're making his stall a nice place to be. This is just so it's easier for you to catch him in a smaller area, where this is where he wants to be, and out there I'm going to make it a little harder on him. So I'll just take him. And I'm just going to put his feet to work out here. So I'll just lunge him around, make it hard to be out here. Because I would be doing this anyway if he wasn't on a halter and lead. I'd be moving his feet around. So because he has a halter, I'm just going to do it right now. Whoa. You okay that I lunge him around in here? Okay. Giving him mixed signals here. I'm just going to move his feet around. Now, one of the reasons I'm working with him right here and moving him back and forth is because he's kind of reactive to my cues on the ground. So I want him to settle down. I want him to settle into my cues and not be so reactive. He's starting to settle down a little bit. So getting those feet to move, making it hard to be out here, but also getting him to settle down. Find his relaxation. Horses should be willing to move when you ask him to move, but also at the intensity you ask him to move. If I ask him to move a little bit and my intensity is relatively low and he kind of explodes in an overreactive way, I want to work with him on that until he stops overreacting to my request, my cues for his movement. If I'm yielding the hindquarters, yielding the forequarters, side passing, backing up, whatever I'm doing, I want him to respond, but be relaxed in that response. So it's challenging for a horse to respond with the intensity I'm asking for, but also be relaxed and intense. Basically, I want him to try hard, but not to be reactive in that try. And that's an important part of groundwork and riding. Ooh. Ooh. Now I'm going to take him back into his stall. So to start out with, we're just going to make his stall his happy place. Boy. Now, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to, this stall's his happy place for right now. This is where he gets to rest. But I want him to rest under here with me. If he goes out there, I'm going to put some pressure on him until he comes back under here with me. So kind of make him want to be with me at the same time want to be in this stall. So I'm going to just approach him. And see, this might be a good time for you to give him a cookie or something. You know, it's something, it's one of those things that if you have that as a tool in your back pocket, but you rarely use it, then I don't, you know, I'm the first person to be pretty against giving cookies if it's going to make the horse spoiled, right? If a horse is just looking for those cookies instead of looking for what he should be doing because you're asking it, then it becomes a problem. Oh, does that feel good? Does that feel good? Oh, look at that. So just sitting here grooming on him. Yeah, I'll let you come in and do the same thing.
I feel so unsteady on my feet. I feel dizzy.
If you need a chair, let us know, okay? Or some water.
Mm-hmm. Are you stinker? Are you stinker?
And one thing I noticed about him when I was working with him a few months back is he's definitely very intelligent. And and I think that's why he started getting away with biting at you, because he figured out he could, you know. He can come out.
I got the idea as far as I saw how uncontrollable he was doing everything, just real hyper.
Uh-huh.
I saw the difference. He was more controlled, more paying more attention rather than. So
You're talking about when I first started lunging him versus when I finished lunging him? Yeah.
And I can see that that's what I'm going to have to do if I can
Get a hold of him.
On him.
Yeah.
That's what I'll have.
So a lot of people will take their horse and get them in, maybe saddle them, and then they'll put them in a round pen and then turn them loose and run them around in the round pen. I rarely do that. After I've taught a horse to be caught and to follow me around and to stick with me, I rarely use the round pen for that, because I want to control. It's not about just moving his feet around, but it's about controlling his feet. And yeah. And so when I pick up on that lead rope and the halter makes contact with him, I want him to respond to that. And so if I don't have connection with the halter and the lead rope, then that I don't get to work on that.
Well, when I'm working with him in the round pen, on the lead, with the lead, I love the way you trained him as far as if I want him to go faster, I just lift up and then I put my arm down by my side and he keeps going. And it's, I'm thinking canter, and he will start to canter.
That's awesome.
It is awesome. I love it. And I tell Jim, I tell my husband, man, I love the way he trained him because it is so much easier.
I just trained him to read human thoughts. That's all. It's pretty easy.
Well,
if you get into what some people believe is that thoughts are really literally things, thoughts are matter. Like if you and energy, yeah. So if you think a thought, is it possible for a horse to understand that energy and to respond to that thought? Some people believe it is. And I used to not think it was possible, but I think a whole lot more is possible than I used to. So I'm open to a lot of that. You know, it sounds quacky, it sounds kooky, but thoughts are energy for sure.
He was reacting out there. He broke into a sweat.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
And he was very reactive. But he did calm down and everything was more controlled. And I saw the difference. Like
Now,
I said, I know what to do. It's just catching him to do it.
okay. Now let's try this. Now I'm going to have you just come out, and I'll actually push him out of there. And then I'm going to move him around a little bit out here without the halter on. And if he decides to come in here, I'll let him come in here, and I'll just come in and catch him in here. Well, I'm going to do that at one or two more times, and then we'll close this and see if I can catch him without coming in here. Now, if I push him around out there and he turns and lets me catch him out there, great. I'm going to take that as a win. But if he doesn't,
I would call that good.
yeah, for sure. Now, something really interesting that I heard from Josh Lyons last week is he said he thinks that quitting on a good note is not necessarily good advice. And this is why he said that. He said, what if you worked with a horse for 59 minutes and they were terrible for 59 minutes, and then for 1 minute they got it right? You quit then? He said, well, what are they going to remember more? That 1 minute or the 59 minutes? And I think his point was that if we can get consistently good behavior over a period of time and quit on that. Now, if I only have 1 more minute, obviously I'm going to quit on a good moment, a good minute, a good something. But if I can get more of those good moments and stack them on top of each other before we quit fully, then I'm going to do that. So people will once they finally get a little bit in a good direction towards what they want, then they're like, okay, we're done for the day. No, Josh Lyons might say, hey, I'm going to work for 2 more hours and get that really, really good. So it just depends on the horse and the situation. Okay, so now he's free. You're free, Spirit. So I'll just push him around. And if he looks me up, I'll take him up on that and let him come to me. So if he went back into the stall. Now, this is the good thing about what we're doing right now, and that is if he's looking to the stall as his relief, then that's a good starting place. At least you can get him in the stall without him running out. So I might do this. Just going to catch him in here. Then we'll do the same thing. I'm going to take him back out. I'll let him rest for a little while in here. Take him out there, move his feet, bring him back in here and let him rest again. I'm letting him have a win right now, right? He's like, oh, I got away from him, but I know I can just rest in here in the stall. So it's no big deal. I always like this purple halter on him. I think the color looks nice. He's such a beautiful buckskin, right? Aren't you, buddy?
Beauty is as beauty does.
Amen. Beauty is as beauty does. My daughter, she's 10 now, and she's always asking me, what's your favorite color of horse? What's your second favorite? How about your third favorite? What's your least favorite? And I always tell her, one of these days, she'll stop asking me because I always tell her my favorite color of horse is a well-trained horse. Athletic, sure-footed, good-minded, well-trained. And that color is a beautiful color. But this buckskin is really pretty. Okay, so that's the happy place. That's where he gets relief. And then I'll just move his feet around again out here. Quite a bit more relaxed this time, right? When I asked him to move around. Which is always nice when you start to ride him. Ooh. I want him to jump that green thing. I'm trying him out for a jumping horse. Ooh. Might even try side passing him a little here. I don't think I ever side passed him without a stick and string, but let's try it. This is hard work for him. Ooh. So anytime I have to move his feet around, I take that as an opportunity to improve his groundwork. I never feel like, oh, I'm wasting my time because I'm having to do this. It's always something I'm trying to improve his groundwork on. Like eventually I might stick this up underneath my belt loop or my belt, and then try to do it, start a little bit of liberty. Oh, not quite there. Anytime I do groundwork with a horse, I want to make sure I'm trying to improve on that groundwork. So that's why I'm kind of advancing to more of a liberty groundwork. Okay, so now take him back into his stall. Gets ahead of me. I'm just going to move his hips around, change sides. Yep. Now he's back to his resting spot. So we're making this his favorite place to be. If he has to be caught, he wants to come in here because he knows he's going to get some rest. It's funny, every time I do it, I help a horse be caught. Every situation is different. I've never done it exactly like this before. Every time it's different. But you just try to figure out, okay, where can I help encourage him to want to be, to make it easier on me to catch him? That's firstly. And for you, because of your vertigo, it's like, okay, let's make this stall a place he wants to be. That way it's easy to get him in here. And then what I would do is I would probably, during the day, his water's in here, isn't it? Oh, it's not? So you might just shut him out, keep him out there and then when you go to catch him, open it up so you can come in here to get rest. I don't know. It's a thought. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. But maybe after he eats, then turn him out there so that he's either coming in here for rest or coming in here to get his pellets. So that way you're not like feeding him grain, but he knows he comes in here to get his pellets. And then leave him out there so he sees that it's shut and he can't get in here. Now he's starting to want to get in here. And just encourage him to want to be in here. And so when you go to catch him, you just open it up. He comes in, you catch him. Okay, so I think that's a good start, and that's where I would start. But let's go now. I'm going to actually ask him to leave, and I'm going to shut this, and let's see if I can catch him out there. And then, but I do think that in the long term, or actually in the short term, hopefully it doesn't require long term, but just catch him in here would probably be easier for you. Especially, once you don't have vertigo again, then once that goes away, then maybe you can work out there a little bit harder.